Hey, hello, how are you? What's going on? Welcome to Mainline episode number 28. Today we are talking about a game that, didn't age particularly well, in my opinion. This is one I had back in the day. I absolutely loved it. I was kind of searching for it forever because there's a ton of these games, a ton of Bomberman games. Like, there are so many Bomberman games, guys. Like, I can't even tell you. And I was looking for this specific one because it felt like a fever dream, man. Like, I knew I had this as a kid, but I just knew there's like 7,000 Bomberman Game Boy games. So I was trying to look for the right one, and finally came across it, so I had to scoop it up and purchase it and replay it. And I was enjoying it at first, man. The nostalgia was flowing. I was really loving it. I was super into it. And, as I kept progressing, getting further into the game, it kept getting harder and harder, man. And it's funny because it's actually like a super simple concept to a game that you would think you'd get the hang of. But, dude, I don't know. You just have to be so precise with movements and stuff. But yeah, what's going on, guys? We are talking about Bomberman Max 2 Blue Edition for the Game Boy Advance. Yes, a very, very fun game. That originally released June 4th, 2002, man. I was in second grade when this game came out all those years ago, man. This game is 22 years old, bro. I did enjoy this one, man. I love the Bomberman games. I haven't played too many of them, but I'm trying to go back and play them just because I love Bomberman, dude. I really love the guy. He's just a cool little white, little fucking circle blob guy, and I don't know. I just love his design. There's, you know what they say, there's beauty in simplicity, man, and I truly believe that. So, yeah, we're talking Bomberman Max 2 today. Probably not going to be the super, super longest episode I've ever done just because these games, this one in particular isn't that long. They probably aren't that long in general, but I do want to go through and play a couple more of these. Well, I do want to get into a bunch of them. I've got a couple of them. I got Bomberman Hero I'm trying to play through. I want to get through Bomberman The Second Attack, Bomberman 64 The Second Attack. I've never played it before, although a cartridge for that for N64 is like $300, which I'm not trying to spend on right now. Although I did get one of the R36 emulators, which I'll get into a little later. This thing is badass. I pulled the trigger on it. Let me just say this. I bought the original Bomberman cart for this game, but I have a couple more Bomberman games and a couple more games I'm going to play in general on this emulating device. Just because, I was always against emulation for the longest time, but then I just realized, you know what? Like, if the companies don't want to put these games like readily available to buy, then fuck them, I'm going to steal them. And also, if buying isn't owning a game, then pirating isn't stealing a game. So fuck off, Big Corpo. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm running wild, man. The chains are off, so yeah. We're going to talk Bomberman 64. Not Bomberman 64. I'm stupid. Bomberman Max 2 for the Game Boy Advanced, man. And I absolutely adore this game. But it does have its fair share of gripes, man. And we'll get on to that. Also, I'm sorry for my mic quality over the past couple of episodes here. I've been trying to do something different with the mic. I'm trying to play around with I have a Blue Yeti, and I've been in the Logitech settings, just trying to figure out, I want to make it sound like I'm talking in a big empty room with nobody listening. So that's kind of what I've been going for the past couple episodes. And I know there's like been popping and stuff, but I think it's just the way the Blue Yeti voice thing is interacting with CapCut audio as I'm trying to, because I've just been recording directly into CapCut using the voiceover feature. And I just don't really think it meshes well with the audio, but this is the easiest way I've found to make audio, or to just record audio, I guess. Before I used to use the voice recorder app and then import the audio files, and it was kind of annoying. So, but I realized like the filter I have on was working when I record it in, but I don't know. It's just way too complicated. I'm trying to figure out a way, so I'm going to go back to normal for this episode, or a couple episodes probably, until I figure that situation out. But yeah, I really just wanted to make it sound like I'm talking into a big empty room with nobody listening, because that's essentially what this is. I'm essentially just speaking into the void about games that I'm going to go back to and listen to later in life, so that's why I'm doing it. I really just wanted to make it sound like that, and it's not really working out. It's sacrificing some mic quality. I know I've been meaning to find a new recording app and a new editing app to record into, but I just don't want to pay anything. CapCut is free. I don't take this too seriously. Maybe if I were to take it more serious, I would invest in like a better software. But I don't know, man. Maybe I'll look into different ones to do later, but yeah, that's whatever, man. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Bomberman. So yeah, just thought I would explain that little audio situation really quick for you guys. So yeah, Bomberman Max 2 Blue Edition. There's actually a blue and a red edition. In the red edition, you play as Max. I don't really know who Max is. Maybe he's part of the storyline in some weird way. But he's essentially, he looks cool as fuck, I can't lie. But like, his name is Max. Like, one guy's name is Bomberman, which is cool. That's his identity. And then the other guy is like Max. Like, it's like, okay, what is this generic white guy name? Like, they should at least, they might as well just call him like, fucking Jeff or Derek. Like, I don't know. Max is kind of a weird name for this guy. It should be like Shade, or I don't know. Something cool to go along with his black theme, I guess. Call him like Shade or Shadow. I don't know. Something edgy, but it's like, okay, Max. You don't really see him too often throughout the game, but, I just figured I'd mention him. He does help you out with clearing some levels in the game. But yeah, apparently this is a sequel to Bomberman Max that came out for the Game Boy Color. I never played those games. I actually got this from my parents way back in the day when I was a young lad. And I just loved it, man. It's so fun. I love kind of puzzle-ish games. And this Bomberman games, this is more of a traditional style Bomberman game. I really, really love Bomberman 64. It's like the first step into 3D for them, and I really wish they would keep going in that direction. I haven't played much more of anything like that. I actually don't know if there's any more Bomberman games out there like Bomberman 64. Well, I know Bomberman Hero and 64 The Second Attack are obviously 3D as well. And I'm sure there's some GameCube ones that are 3D as well, but I just genuinely haven't played them. But I do want to get into more of them, like I said earlier. I absolutely just love the Bomberman series, man. Yeah, I mentioned this is a bit of a traditional style Bomberman game earlier, so if you don't really know what Bomberman is all about, basically you spawn onto a map, and then there's a bunch of enemies and a bunch of blocks you have to clear, and there's power-ups you can get. You can get power-ups to get more bombs. You can get power-ups to make your bombs explode farther distance, because that's basically how it is. Like, imagine there's like a giant rectangular style map. There's a bunch of hard blocks that kind of block you in that you can't destroy, and then there's a bunch of soft blocks that you can destroy. And destroying a lot of soft blocks in this game in general gets you certain power-ups. You can get power-ups to get speed boost as well. You can get self-detonating bombs because they detonate on their own automatically, so you kind of have to like plant it under you, then run away around a corner, make sure you don't kill yourself with your own bomb. The manual detonation bombs you can detonate on your own time, and it works really, really well with killing certain enemies. I've played the OG Bomberman, but I haven't played it in so long. I actually can't even remember if there's power-ups in that game. I'm sure there is, but this one, it's a newer version. The biggest thing that stands out in this game, in the Bomberman Max series, I actually don't know if the original Bomberman Max games are like this, but you get these things called Carabombs that you can unlock. Or I think that's what it's called. I actually don't know how to pronounce it. Carabombs, Carabooms. And they're like little animals that you can ride in this game, and each one kind of helps you get through a level in a certain way. They each kind of have their own different like unique play style and stuff you can do with them, which was my driving factor for the game. Like, I wanted to just get as much of these guys as I could, as well as progress through the game and beat it. I just really couldn't wait to see and get more Carabombs, to see just what they did. And I didn't end up getting all of them. I did end up beating the game. I didn't end up going through every single level in the game because I would have pulled my hair out at that time. I just wanted to get through it, beat it, make a quick episode about it, and move on to the next game here. So that's what we're doing. As far as the gameplay goes, it's pretty standard. You basically get through a level. You have an objective to do in each and every level. Your objective can be literally anything from like destroy all enemies, destroy all soft blocks, get all Carabomb foods, which is just like upgrades that you get from the soft blocks you destroy. Destroy certain types of enemies. It could really be anything. And then once you do the objective that it wants you to do, it opens a couple portals that you can go through. It'll be a pink portal if you've already gone through it, or it'll be a blue portal if it's a new level you're going to. So, it was kind of random. It would take you to a random place, and there was 5 parts of the map, right? 5 sections, 5 different levels. The first level was the garden, the second level was the library, third was the dining, fourth was the tool shop, and 5 was the laboratory. Oh, and let me just explain the story of this game really quick, because it's actually kind of just ridiculous. Apparently, you get shrunken down or something by the Higa Iga army, or whatever it's called. Operation Mini Mini is what it's called. So Bomberman and Max get shrunken down. They have to work with Dr. Ein to, get restored back to full size. So that's why you're like a mini guy playing through all these worlds that seem so massive. It's literally because it's like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of dynamic here. So that's what we're going with. But yeah, it's essentially just trying to make your way through each world, do certain objectives, and then it would take you to like an overworld map and show you all the squares that you've already done before. You could spawn back into maps you've already done and then progress through them. You don't have to do the objective. Everything's already opened back up. And then eventually you get to the boss square at the end. The first boss was a giant sunflower. It wasn't too difficult. The second boss was a giant book. The third boss was like a microwave that threw eggs at you. It was kind of insane. The fourth boss was a robot that like splits into different pieces and attacks you. And then the fifth one was like the brain, like the hive brain of it all. And it had like 5 different phases, man. And this is where the Carabombs really, really, really come into play here, because they each do a different thing with the bombs. So you can make them, you can really use them to your advantage. I was abusing the Pommy Beast, which... I was so thankful I got this one, because I genuinely don't know if I could have beat the game without this one. Basically, you would lay a bomb, and then you could press A, and it would literally you could literally drag the bomb anywhere you'd want, and it would like home it. It was so good, especially for this final boss. You could literally just sit at the bottom and just like navigate your bombs up towards this thing without having to leave and then walk away. Very, very, very good. And then there was just, I'll explain a couple of the Carabombs. There was like a Rhino one where you were able to push the bombs with yourself and just like push the bombs forward. There was like a deep anglerfish Carabomb that allowed you to, it turns the bombs into homing devices. Like the bomb would detonate and then follow enemies, which is kind of interesting. Pommy is the first one. Pommy is essentially just like you get max speed. That's all it really does. So some of them are kind of more useful than others in that sense, but I did unlock them all. And apparently you can fuse them together, which I never knew about. So yeah, you could take 2 Carabombs and kind of fuse them together to make a special one. I never did that. I'd never figured out how to do it. I didn't even know that was a thing until I just read up about it now. And that's pretty cool, man. The thing that kept me going through this game the most was just trying to see what all the different animals were. And there's so many of them, man. There's like sharks, there's dragons, all sorts of different crazy shit. As an Overwatch joyer and Overwatch glazer, characters that do different abilities gets my dick hard. So anything along those lines, I just fucking spring right up, dude. I just get so wrecked. Sorry if it's a little graphic, but honestly, I just love it. Characters that just can change the gameplay in different ways is just so interesting to me. I really just love that about games. So when I got back into this, that felt right at home. I can't lie. I mean, that's really it, guys. I don't know how much more I could say about Bomberman Max 2, man. It's like literally, that's just what the whole game is. These old retro games, some of them you can't just really get in depth with. And if I try to explain any more, it's going to get super, super boring. But here's what I will say. Give it a try if you want. There's definitely better Bomberman games out there. However, I do like this one. I do want to go back and play the original at some point. And then I also want to play like the Bomberman Quest. That's like a story kind of driven game. I don't know, man. There's just too much to play nowadays. And now that I have this emulator with 20,000 goddamn games on it, it's just going to be such a good time for that. Oh, and let me get into a little more about that right now. By the way, this is not a paid advertisement, of course. I'm just going to talk about this R36S for a little bit because this thing is pretty sick. I've always seen this thing on like eBay and ads pop up for this thing constantly. And I was always like, it's too good to be true. There's no way it's that great of a device. There's no way it can run that stuff. There's just no certain possible way in my mind that would possibly work. So I just decided to pull the trigger on it one day. And it took a little while to get here. I think it took like 3 weeks to get here. But it was only $40. If it was a piece of shit, I wasn't out that much money, so I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll try it out. We'll see how it goes. And dude, there's like 3,000 Game Boy games, 3,000 Game Boy Color games, like 2,000 Game Boy Advance games. There's PlayStation Portable, PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64. Although, some of those bigger consoles, I feel like it doesn't run as well. But for stuff like Game Boy games and the earlier NES games, like this is perfect, man. It runs it perfect. It has save states too, so you can literally save anytime, anywhere. Although I'm not gonna lie, when I play this, when I am playing through a game right now, that will be next week's episode. Hopefully, if I'm done with it, it's about, I'll give you a little hint. It's about monkeys rolling around in balls. So I'm sure you can come up with what it is. I'm very much enjoying it. I'm having a blast on it. So I'm going to try to do my best not to abuse save states to make the game like too easy. I'm going to put save states basically where normal checkpoints would be and try not to abuse them too hard to get through the game. So I'm trying to be a little honest with it, but yeah, I'm just very, very excited to play this thing. And especially it's just the perfect because it's portable, man. It looks like a Game Boy, fits right in your pocket, can bring it anywhere. It's got a rechargeable battery, so you don't got to worry about finding external batteries for it. I don't know, man. I'm really, really satisfied with this device for the price, man. $40 for 20,000 retro games. And if you wanted to, you could go online and download like ROMs and stuff. I know one of my buddies, IRL, he got one of these as well. Not the R36S. I can't remember which model he got, but it didn't come with any of the Pokemon games on it, unfortunately. The one I got came with a bunch of Pokemon games on it, which I'm very happy about. I do want to play Pokemon Crystal at some point as well, because I do want to play through Gen 2 Pokemon. I know I've mentioned in earlier episodes I want to play through my Pokemon Silver cartridge that I have, but the battery's shot on it, and I got to get a new battery to solder into it, which I've been meaning to do. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. But now that I can play Pokemon Crystal, it's like, why would I bother? And I can have save states to just play the game through how I want. So I'm very, very excited to get into that as well. So yeah, man, I'm sticking it to Big Corpo. I finally had enough of them. Guys, either make your games readily available through online streaming or whatever, or just I'm going to emulate the fuck out of it. You know, like I'd be willing to buy it for a fair price maybe, but fuck you if you're not going to put it out, you know? I was going to get into Retard of the Week, guys, but honestly, like, how can I find reviews for a game that came out in 2002, you know? This game is 22 years old. The only reviews I can find on the internet for this game are like IGN reviews from like all that time ago. And everybody gives it like a 75 or 80 out of 100, which is, I would pretty much agree with that. You know, this game it's really fun, although there's definitely better stuff as far as like adventure RPGs on the Game Boy. So yeah, I don't know. Can't really do Retard of the Week this week, so we'll probably just skip on that. Also, I got the release date wrong. It actually came out May 30th, 2002. I was reading the European release date. Came out May 30th in America, 2002. Came out February 7th, 2002 in Japan, so a couple months earlier, alongside Bomberman Max 2, the Red Edition, which I don't know if I explained the differences between the two games. It's kind of like Pokemon's, how they're, you know, they release two every kind of generation that do things slightly different. Basically, there's slightly different Care Bombs you can get and different levels you can play on. That's pretty much the only difference, so not too much difference there. Yeah, that's going to do it for Bomberman talk, guys. We are just going to wrap up here with what I've been playing over the past week like we always do here. So what's Jerry been playing? What has Gerald Yappington been gaming on? Let me tell you real quick. I've been playing a game I just talked about a little earlier on this new emulator device I got with the monkeys in the balls. That should be next week's episode. I'm kind of close to being done with it, although the last levels are kind of getting a little hard, but we're going to power through. I just finished all the premium Battle Pass tiers of Overwatch because I have to every year, or I have to every season because I'll lose my mind if I don't get all the titles because I'm a collector. I like to collect everything in that game. I don't know why. It's just who I am. Marvel Rivals came out, which is I was kind of skeptical on, but it's actually pretty fun. This is a game I probably wouldn't play solo, but I've been playing it with some friends, and it's actually pretty fun with friends. Although I will say it's going to have the same problem Overwatch has when Overwatch got figured out. This game, once it gets figured out, there's going to be a lot of issues people have with this. There's a lot of immortalities and a lot of resurrections that can go on. Also, it has the same problem pre-roll-lock Overwatch had, where everybody wants to choose the DPS. Nobody wants to play tanks. Nobody wants to play supports. So once that all gets solved, you know, the game, I feel like it might be frustrating. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it's been pretty fun, man. The honeymoon phase is going great so far. I'm not going to play it on my own, but I will play it with my friends when they're on and want to play. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I like Squirrel Girl in that game. I've been playing Squirrel a lot. And I've been playing Mantis too. Mantis is a great support. So, you know, pretty fun. I've been playing a little bit of Mecham Bellum here and there too, and I've also been playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, or PUBG, with my brother. He loves that game. I think it's okay. Battle Royales are just kind of RNG, you know, dropping in and dying is super, super annoying, but he likes it, and I like to play with him, so we've been playing that a little bit, and that's pretty much it, man, and I will continue playing. Dude, why can't I English right now? I will continue to play this emulator and have fun on retro games on it. Jesus Christ, dude, why is it so hard? Oh my god, I almost forgot to mention the new Zombies map, guys. Black Ops 6, the new Zombies map, Citadel de Mor came out. This map kicks fucking ass, dude. Easily a top 10, easily a classic. I have a couple issues with it. I hate to see Vermins and Parasites return as the special max ammo round, which is kind of annoying. The Amalgams return, which is kind of annoying. I do like the new Doppelgast, guys. The Elemental Swords are sick. Love this map. Absolutely love it. Me and my friends have been playing it. It's so much. Very, very goated map. So yeah, that's going to do it, guys. I've been playing a lot of multiplayer stuff this week, which is kind of out of the norm. Usually I only stick to 1 or 2 multiplayer games, but we've been doing a little bit of variety here at the Jerry household. So that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Drop a bomb in the comments, or drop a Carabomb in the comments, or drop a you're a faggot or kill yourself in the comments below, and I'll respond, and we'll talk about our favorite Bomberman moments, okay? So that's going to do it, guys. Don't forget to exercise. Don't forget to drink water, you fat, overweight piece of shit, obese loser, okay? And with that being said, I will see you next week for the Monkey in the Ball episode. Take care, guys. Have a nice week. Have a nice weekday. Have a nice weekend. Goodbye. Peace. Goodbye. Peace. Goodbye. Goodbye. I don't know why these endings are so fucking retarded. Sorry.